Hey, welcome in. It seems like most people think there's going to be an acquittal. I thought that it would probably come on the first day because I thought it was fairly obvious, but that hasn't happened. But let's go to Jack Posobiec's Twitter. And he's saying, and this was a couple hours before they shut it down for the night, he said 2 jurors holding decision up, outright citing backlash, per U.S. Marshal in Kenosha. Now, I can't confirm this. He does tend to be pretty good. He's got a lot of good sources, but again, can't confirm this. Anyway, it continues, worried about media leaking their names, what will happen to their families, jobs, etc. And then including doxing threats from anarchist groups. So if true, this certainly doesn't seem like a stretch, does it? I mean, here's a headline from a week ago. Rittenhouse judge says person caught filming jurors. Orders deletion along with new procedures. How about a friend of George Floyd, Cortez Rice? In a chilling video that was clearly designed to intimidate, Rice told members of the jury that they're being watched as he fully expects a guilty verdict. In a menacing tone of voice, he says, "I ain't even gonna name the people I know that's up in the Kenosha, Wisconsin trial. But it's cameras in there. It's definitely cameras up in there. There's definitely people taking pictures of the juries and everything like that. We know what's going on, so we need the same results, man. We need the same results." And there he's referencing the guilty verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial. So this is clearly jury intimidation, right? I mean, are there no FBI agents that they can spare from school board meetings to go and deal with something like this? Maybe they have. Maybe they are dealing with it. I don't know. But this is the sort of thing that if a jury finds out about it, is going to freak them out. Not to mention that there's been people outside protesting. There's been pro and anti-Rittenhouse crowds out there. Not huge crowds, in all fairness. But they're out there, and that's something that I'm sure that they know. And you know what's interesting here is that here's some anti-Kyle Rittenhouse protesters here. They got a sign that says, "Heroes. Killed while standing up for Black lives and justice in the beautiful rising." So I don't know, is arson social justice? I don't know, is attacking people social justice? I don't know. I don't think it is. But here's this guy. This is Rosenbaum, this guy here. And this other guy's Huber. So these are heroes. So let's find out just how heroic these two gentlemen were. So if you're left-wing watching this and you don't trust any conservative news sources, this is Snopes. What's true and false about Kyle Rittenhouse's alleged victims? And of course they don't get right to that because, you know, the people going to their site, probably most of them aren't going to like what they find out, so they couch it with a bunch of stuff. So they just pad it first with a bunch of stuff that's totally irrelevant to what these guys did. But if we keep going down and down and down and down, they finally get to it. And when you hear what they actually did, it starts to make sense why they hit it so far down in the article, which is supposed to be just about this. But anyway, let's see. Rosenbaum was sentenced to prison for sexually abusing 5 children, all boys between the ages of 9 and 11. Now, I'm not going to read the next paragraph that details the horrible, horrible things that this person did and that he spent 15 years in jail for. But this is not a good person. This person is not a hero. Okay, this person was a monster because monsters do to children what this guy did. So our next hero was Huber, who threatened his brother and grandmother at their home with a knife, choked the brother, and demanded that they follow his orders. He was charged with strangulation and suffocation and false imprisonment. Now, it sounds like he had mental health problems, and that may be the case. But I just think that maybe, before you start calling people heroes, maybe you should look into them a little bit. I mean, Snopes is telling you. Everybody on the left loves Snopes, right? This is one of those things in the modern world that I find so surreal. Look at this. These two on a sign that calls them heroes. But anyway, I don't find it hard to believe that there would be, well, some members of the jury that would just be worried. They'd be scared. I mean, before the trial, the media, almost all of the media was arrayed against Kyle Rittenhouse before any evidence had been heard. And apparently none of them, CNN, MSNBC, none of them had actually ever taken a look at the evidence that was available to them. Any of the videos, any of it. Tim Pool had eyewitnesses on his show. Apparently they didn't pay any attention to that. So if they're worried about riots happening and their own safety afterwards, well, I think they have actually good reason to be worried, don't they? And if they do return an acquittal, I'm sure those same media companies will be covering all of the probable violence and lunacy with glee. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.